Kotlin tutorial. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, just please subscribe, because I'll be bringing you amazing concepts about Android app development and many more interesting topics which is trending, the new technologies and the stuffs that is happening, so okay, today my topic will be of discussion will be about explaining about the type of classes, various classes like abstract class, singleton, data class, enum class, and sealed class and stuff like that. And I will also be explaining you some important concept, okay, like object oriented concepts, terminology like inheritance, interface, and like init block and stuff like that. Okay, so without making any delay, let's go to the code. Okay, let me write the code and explain you the important concepts. All right, so okay, okay, so the okay, let me create a class. Okay, so first thing I would like to explain you is a init block. Okay, what is this init block? Actually, this init block is a, if you create any class, like for example normally, like for example we have created a normally init block class. Okay, and if I create a variable which is size, maybe okay, which is integer, and I can create a init block, okay, where I can initialize the size, but I can initialize the size based on if true, size equals to 10, else size equals to 20. Okay, so this is the init block. Okay, actually this condition is always true, but actually I would like to put some condition here. So if you see, I don't have an error here because the init block is a block which is usually initialize on the beginning, okay, of everything. That means also in the beginning of constructor block, okay, even before the construction block. Okay, like for example, if your primary constructor is if okay, let me write a value which is pass integer, and let me make a condition check, like if value is greater than 2. Okay, so yeah, we can also actually simplify in such a way. We can simplify in such a way, okay, it's much simpler. You can simplify the code in such a way like this, okay, in a single line maybe. Okay, yeah, if you see, if the value is greater than, that is the initialize. So I can also create the constructor, like as I told you before, we can create a constructor like this is a secondary constructor and this is a primary constructor, right? So actually this init block is initialized even before the constructor, so it's initialized first, okay, before, whenever you create the object of this class, this init block is run at the first time, okay, even after the constructor. So that means yeah, you usually use this block to initialize property, okay, like this one that I have used like this. So this was the important concept of initialize init block. Now let's try to understand what is inheritance. Okay, so what is inheritance? Inheritance is like, let me create a class which is an open class, like super class. Okay, and my this super class has some open property. Okay, and which is a string, and which is a string, and which has a value of okay. Yeah, actually I am forgetting some class here. So if you see, I have an open class named superclass, and I have an open property, right? So inheritance, what is inheritance? Inheritance is a, like, how does inheritance work? Actually, you have to understand this way. The inheritance work in such a way that you are, you, for example, this init block class wants to inherit this property from this superclass. So how we do that is we do this symbol and superclass, so it's trying to inherit the inherit this class property to constructor if invocation. Okay, and now I can always override the property, right? I can say property. Okay, I can override the property, and I can change this property to, okay, I can override the property and say the property is not value, the property is a new value, right? So this is how inheritance works. So like you are trying to inherit the property from the superclass and try to use it also by modification. You know, you can override this the method, the properties which is in the parent class, the superclass. Okay, so this is the concept of inheritance. Now what is interface? Okay, interface, let's create an interface. Interface is usually, actually, you know, they don't have a constructor. Interface, okay, and they don't have constructor, so you cannot create a object of interface, and they consist of the all the general methods. So method 1, function method 2. So if you have all the general implementation of methods which are actually general in which is implemented in so many other classes, then you can create a general interface, and you can simply uh, implement those interface, right? So for example, if my init block class want to also implement those two methods, then I can just inherit the interface class, right? Okay, so and then I have to override those I mean, like, I have to implement those method, right? So I'm overriding those method 1. So here I can print ln, I can my internal implementation. Yeah, you can do the internal implementation. Okay, and the same also you can do the another implementation here in method 2, implementation 2, right? So this is the idea of interface. Okay, so now let's check about what are the different class types that we have. Okay, we have first thing is abstract class. Okay, what is this abstract class? Abstract class is a class which is like which you cannot make instance of abstract class directly. Okay, it is actually, abstract class is a class which we create for example mostly for features which are general features, you know. For example, abstract class, we can create an abstract class for, okay, for maybe okay, let's create an abstract class for uh, mm, product. Okay, the product class is already created, so let's create an abstract class for player. Okay, and actually a player, its abstract class has also abstract property, right? Like variable, each player has its number, right? Player number, they have property which is a player number. Each player has a player number, right? And each player has also um, the color, the player number, and the color of the jersey, right? So, and those two are the abstract property, so these are the abstract property. So yeah, we create the abstract class um, of abstract property of the object. Okay, so which can be implemented later on, like and the interesting thing, some of the interesting facts about abstract class is like it doesn't have a constructor, and we cannot make instance of abstract class directly, and mm, and we don't need to use open keyword. Okay, so as you can see here, I created open keyword for superclass to inherit the class by this class. So as you can see right now, I can also inherit player class here. Okay, and I have to implement the members of this abstract class. So let me implement those methods. So here the player number can be 14, and I don't need to have this kind of setter, and the color is blue. Okay, but it's a string, so it's blue, right? So as you can see, I'm overriding these abstract properties in this class, which I am implementing, and I guess I don't need okay, remove super type, change to constructor invocation, still okay. um, okay, I guess I have to what is this layer? Okay, that's working fine. uh, Class may appearance. Okay, the problem is actually, I'm already implementing this as a superclass, so I have to remove either this, and now it's working fine, so I will not use the superclass. Okay, so yeah, this is the abstract class. It acts also kind of a superclass with some abstract methods. So usually, you create an abstract class if you have a class which with a lot of abstract property like colors, number, which is usually used. It's like abstract property, which you can a common property among many other like common feature, you can say, like, so you can use an abstract class. Okay, all right, so now let's see about what is a singleton class. Singleton class is a class, so usually okay, let's create a singleton class with exactly one instant and use everywhere. Like, okay, let's create a singleton class. Singleton class. Okay, usually you create a singleton class by with the object keyword, and usually we don't have a constructor, and then we give a property like val property one, it is a integer and it has a value 12, and also we can have function method 1, okay, method 12, and okay, which is which is returning a boolean. Okay, and let me return true. So this is a singleton class. Okay, which is actually has only one instance and can be used everywhere, like. So let me use the same singleton class here also, maybe. Where is the Okay, I will try to use var ton, which is a singleton class. As you can see, so I have created a singleton class, and this can be used. It is creating just only one instance, okay, and can be used everywhere, right? So and the usually it is used, for example, in an app. Usually a singleton class is created for a network service, which is only one network service which is used everywhere, right? So, and database service, something like that. Okay, so now what is a data class? There are also class which is, especially the purpose of this class is to store data, and it is called data class. We create data class using a keyword data class, and name of the class is data class. Okay, and the interesting concept of this data class is, always when you create a data class, you need to have at least one property, and each property has to start with a val or var. Okay, property int. Okay, and either you can give a default value, or uh, also you don't need to give a default value. Okay, but at least you need to have one of the property. Okay, either you can give a value or not. You can assign a default value, or you can assign a default value, or you don't need to assign any value. Okay, so this is a default value actually, or you don't need to assign a value. So it depends on your needs. Okay, so but so this is the concept of a data class. And the thing that you have to understand is they cannot be abstract, or they cannot be open class, they cannot be sealed class, they are cannot be ordinary class. Okay, so mm, and their main purpose is to hold the data. So, and the interesting concept is all the getter and setter is already here. Okay, so that means the property is already accessible from here. So, okay, cool. So this is a data class. And okay, let's see about what is an enum class. Enum class is a class, usually like when you implement like type safe enumerators, right? Sorry. Okay, so we create the enum class in this way, enum class. And yeah, you can have a enum class, like as an example, have four different properties, like maybe is we can say top, bottom, and each property, like each enum is separated by a comma: top, bottom, left, right. Okay, so I have a simple enum class which is categorized into top, bottom, left, right. Okay, and yeah, also actually you can create an enum class with like the enum, or each enum constant, which is separated, like having a method also, like. Okay, so let's try to create that class with a method. So method enum class. Okay, and let's create a method for red party. Okay, red party, and this red party has a method. There is a two enum constant object, which is red party and blue party. Okay, okay, so let's see. This red party has a method, function. Okay, method Okay, and what it does is red party sings. Okay, we can have a method, right? And we don't need to override anything actually, because it's uh, it's not overriding. It's like the enum class having a object constant, a constant enum object having a method. Okay, so is a function method, and this blue party they dance. Okay, and yeah, you can also have a enum class with a simple constant enum object, or a object enum constant object with a method inside it. Okay, so this is the enum and class, uh, and that's it, guys. Okay, so another concept of so now we have another class which is a sealed class. Okay, let's talk about the sealed class now. What is a sealed class? A sealed class is something very special. Like we can create a sealed class by using this sealed class class. Okay, and usually we use a sealed class to do amazing concepts like maybe sealed class, and okay, we can do some concepts like we can create a subclass of this seed class. Okay, like here class 1. Okay, which is a subclass of a seal class. Okay, and sorry, yeah, and class 2, which is a subclass of a seal class. Okay, and mm, okay, let's have okay, let's yeah, we have a seal class having this class 1 and class 2 uh, 1 and 2 seal like seal class. Okay, and now actually we can use the seal class for okay, I will show you also the implementation here. Actually, it is saying the important concept facts about seal class is abstract by default, and can subclass only in one file. So you cannot subclass. As you can see, I'm creating a subclass of the seal class, right? 1 and 2. So I cannot create a subclass somewhere else. Like for example, I go to product and I cannot create a subclass like 3. I cannot create a 3 class 3 with sealed class. Sorry, as you can see here, access init, you see it's a private in seal class, so you cannot access the seal class here from the another file. Okay, so that is the important concept of seal class, uh, and it is the safest way to represent fixed number of types. So actually, in one class I can have type 1 and 2. So now I will try to create a like a check. I will try to create a method check sealed class type. Okay, so and this is gonna show you the implementation of how do we check the sealed class type. Okay, so and this is actually returning a string. Okay, and what it does is we return when okay, let's see that we are passing sealed class, that is a sealed class, and when sealed is okay, when sealed is of class called one, then you do you pass it is sealed one. And when is as you can see, we are having a error here because uh, like we have to pass all the condition is 2, then it is sealed 2, right? And now we are not getting error because actually um, uh, we have uh, managed to use the check do the check of when in all the conditions that is present in the sealed class, that is 1 and 2. We have only two subclasses, right? 1 and 2. So we are already making a change, so in this way we don't need a else statement. And this is one of the important function, or I need to say it's like one of the most important benefit of using a seal class. Okay, so like you are making a conditional check, like the when conditional check, like you are using the verification in all the cases, like so like for example I can create also another seal class here, like maybe 2, 3 and 4. So and certainly this will also have error, like when, because we are not making any conditional check here, right? So here now if I write 3 and 4, the error is already gone here, if you see here, because we are making the check in all the conditions, right? So this is one of the benefit of using seal class. Okay, cool guys. I guess I have already covered all the important concepts, and thank you for listening, and hope to catch you again in my next lecture, where I will be giving you some important concepts and tricks, a lot of tricks in programming language for Kotlin, and also coming up with the new technology lectures and stuff like that. So just subscribe and follow me. Thank you.